Good afternoon. Welcome to Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. How's everybody doing today? The chat's open. Feel free to jump in anytime you like. So, I looked over my analytics over the weekend, and it's all my fault. Well, I had the settings. I had the settings screwed up on the channel. It's all right. So I pissed away the first 6 weeks. It's no big deal. It's all my fault. I did it. I outsmarted myself. It's no big deal. I changed the settings. Originally, I guess I had set this up saying that it was made for children. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, it's my fault. All right. I fixed it. It's not set up for children anymore. So hopefully YouTube will market us to adults. Okay. So it'll all work out eventually. Emphasis here on the eventually, because who knows what else I've screwed up. Okay. So if you've been waiting for the channel to take off, yeah, I blame the entire production staff. They screwed this up from start to finish. There is no production staff. It's just me. Okay. It'll still all work out in the end. Okay. We'll get to where we need to be. You can't let these minor setbacks bother you. It is what it is. Okay. I'm not upset. I'm patient. Okay. It's all going to work out eventually. But for right now, if you're talking to your friends, it's all Ghost's fault. I screwed it up. So if you're just joining us, afternoon chat, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get into the chat and be a part of the discussion, you're welcome to. Anyone and all are welcome. You do have to go to YouTube and download their Discord app. I am not on any of the other servers. The only social media platform I use is YouTube. So your other Discord apps aren't going to work. Just YouTube's. But then you can jump in and you can chat. The rules of the chat are real simple. Everybody is always going to be welcome. It's not going to be an exclusive chat. It's going to be an inclusive chat. We want everyone to feel free to comment. Ghost Mostly is just a alias that I used when I created Ghost Mostly Media. It means I don't want to be the star of the show. I want the people in the chat to be the star of the show. And I'll just drift into the background. Okay. The rules are real simple. Follow the community guidelines that YouTube has established. As long as you don't get us in trouble with YouTube, we're golden. Everything will work out. Okay. No matter how many times I screw it up, it'll all work out in the long run. Well, having screwed up the settings, I gotta feel like we're in for another week without any chatters. Okay. It's my fault. I got my Gatorade. I'm getting my electrolytes. The analytics for the channel are coming along fine. Slow but sure. It's still progressing uphill. You know, it's getting better every day. The videos are getting views, so we're getting the viewing hours that we need. Subscribers are moving up. I think we're up to 8 now. Okay. Hey, we'll probably make double digits by the end of the week. Let's think positive. Okay. I actually had a nice quiet weekend. Except for the Lions losing, the weekend was fine. But when the Lions lost, I kind of crashed and burned. Okay. I wasn't prepared for that. Well, next week is a different story. You know, they're still 4-2 on the year. So as far as I'm concerned, they're going to be 15-2 until they show me something otherwise. I still expect them to win the Super Bowl. Okay. I'm not disheartened. They've got some secondary issues for defense, and I think the fight at the end, Brian Branch is probably going to end up getting suspended for a game. Well, you know, young men can be immature. Okay. Let's just leave it at that. Dan Campbell will straighten him out. Okay. Dan Campbell, look at the great job he did with Jameson Williams, right? We don't have any further issues with Jameson. He's playing his butt off. Even when he's just blocking, he's still playing his butt off. So, you know, Dan Campbell will straighten Brian Branch out, and, you know, he'll get the ship back on track. But I do not like to watch them lose. It was depressing. Well, the NFL's got an officiating problem. I think it's unrealistic to think that Kansas City Chiefs can play an entire game without a single flag being thrown on them. I saw several things that could have been flagged in that game. Several. It's, you know, well, the NFL is, they've got their thumb on the scale. It's a shame that they operate like this in this day and age. They say they want parity, but then they send out these part-time officials and say, here, go cheat. At least that's the way it looks. All I can give you is my opinion from my end of my couch, okay? My perspective. That's the only one I can offer. Jump in the chat and offer yours. I welcome it. I just think it's unrealistic to think that they could go the entire game without a single penalty. I look at the average penalties in the average game this season. And I think it's unrealistic that they could go, 4 full quarters without a single flag. I saw holds, I saw interferences, I saw false starts. I saw a number of flags that could have been thrown, but weren't. And I think that's by design. Personal opinion. I'm not an expert. I'm just a Lions fan. But it appeared to me that, the game was called in a biased fashion. Left me a little salty. It did. But the Lions will improve. They'll correct their mistakes. I also think that the first touchdown that they nullified, I think that was bunk. I saw all kinds of people in motion all weekend long, and none of them had to set. As far as I'm concerned, once he backed out of center and went into motion, he became an eligible receiver. That's my opinion. It's the same thing as if you got a tight end that pulls out and goes into motion. As soon as he pulls out of his stance and turns and is going parallel to the line of scrimmage, he's in motion. I think it was bunk. And the call that pulled that touchdown off the board didn't come from on the field. That call came from New York, which to me means that the NFL itself is putting a thumb on the scale. It was only a 4-point difference. It probably wouldn't have made a difference in the game realistically. But, momentum, the psychological implications, it is what it is. My personal opinion, I think that they need to call the game evenly on both sides. And if they're not going to call it evenly on both sides, then they need to call it in favor of the Lions. Personal opinion. I'll tell you right up front that I'm biased. I don't like Kansas City. Okay. They played a good game. Kansas City did play a good game. Okay. But some of the penalties that were called on the Lions were ridiculous. With that, well, I'll end my rant on that, and I'll look for another rabbit hole to fall down this afternoon. Okay. Feel free to jump in the chat and straighten me out. Okay. You're more than welcome. I welcome anyone's opinion. Everyone's opinion, as a matter of fact. It's Monday. We're going to have a good week. And it's going to be an interesting Halloween, I think. Well, the month of Halloween. I look forward to seeing costumes. I'm not getting in one. Okay. That's no. No, I don't see myself even going to a party. Okay. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm too old for that crap. I used to go. I used to participate, same as everybody. I don't even get trick or treaters at my place. It's a senior complex, because I'm old. Okay. Yeah, I fixed the settings. I think they're going to work. Um, did have some crap on Friday. A little buffering right at the end of the stream. I thought about calling Spectrum and investigating, and I decided not to because I've already decided that I want to replace Spectrum. Okay. And they're just not my cup of tea. I don't consider that they have a worthwhile product. Personal opinion. Be honest, I'm looking at T-Mobile right now. I'm thinking about switching. I need to do a little more investigation. I think that they're 5 years without raising your rates looks pretty attractive to me right now. But I need to, read the fine print. You can't just make snap decisions in 2025. You got to do your diligent research or you end up, screwed. Well, just because it's a corporation doesn't mean that they're not out to get you. I see a lot of places screwing over their customer base all the time. I talk about it on here all the time. So we'll see what happens down the road. Well, it's like the middle of the month, so I'd say if I do make a switch, it'll be within the next couple of weeks. No big deal. I'm looking forward to the day when the chat is populated and I'm so busy in here I can't think about my issues. It'll happen. We do got a couple of games going on in the NFL tonight. I'll be watching probably Tom Grossi. Well, I think he's entertaining. That's all. I've been watching him for a few years. I don't really chat with him, but I watch the show. I try to remember to give him a like. You guys could do that for me if you would. A like and subscribe would help the channel immensely, but if you feel like doing it, don't sweat it. Well, this channel's not monetized yet, and we'll get there eventually. No big deal. But if you want to jump in the chat, please feel free. Talk about anything you want within the community guidelines. I'm on here 10 hours a week, 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And everyone is welcome. I've invited the world into my living room for a conversation. So please conduct yourself accordingly. It's okay. I understand. some people don't have the ability to chat. You do need to use your phone or a tablet or a computer. You have to go to YouTube and download the Discord app. Once you've got the Discord app, you can chat freely. I think it's going to be a nice week. I'm looking forward to next Monday night's football game, the Lions. Okay. They'll be playing Tampa Bay. Well, the Lions haven't lost 2 games in a row in a couple of years here, so I expect it'll be a real good game next week. I really haven't paid any attention to who's playing tonight. I'll just watch Tom Grossi. He'll call the games. Some of these Monday nights, Tom calls both games at the same time. All right. You got to see it to believe it. Okay. Like I said, the guy's just entertaining. I watch quite a few shows on YouTube that I find very entertaining. I really don't chat. It's not. Well, I generally am just watching him on my TV. I enable the chat so that I can read it as it scrolls by, but I enjoy it. I was watching TMZ live earlier. I think I shut it off about 2:45 my time. Yeah, mustache is a little brittle today. I don't know why. The beard's soft. I'm looking forward to uneventful week. I'm in a no news zone, so I'm self-censoring this week. I'm not turning on the news. I don't want them sending me off. They set me off, and then I come in here and I rant. You know, that's not what I want to do. This channel is not so I can vent. This channel is so you guys can vent. So if you see me going down a rabbit hole and you think I should cease and desist, jump in the chat and tell me. I look forward to hearing from you guys. That's why I created this. You know, my lighting looks almost perfect in here. I remembered to wear an overshirt. Okay. It's a little bit of progress every day, right? As long as I keep moving forward, I'm still moving. We'll get to where we need to be. And I watched the Lions game with Mike Kimber. He does Chat Sports, Lions Talk with Chat Sports. I just identify with the guy. Well, on a number of levels, you know. When he gets emotional, I get emotional concerning the Lions. if he's on TV yelling and screaming, I'm generally on my feet in my living room yelling and screaming the exact same thing. Yeah, I know. I'm smoking a lot today. Oh, no pot, just cigarettes, but you know, I'll smoke pot at 5 after the show. Well, that's the plan, anyways. Hopefully, we'll get some people in the chat this week and make some new friends. I'm still waiting for any return visits from any of the people that I've spoken to. Well, people are busy. Okay. People actually have something going on in their life, you know. I understand. It should be interesting now that I've changed the settings to where they're supposed to be. You know, we'll see how it works out. YouTube will probably reset and start all over again. As far as sorting out the channel with their algorithm and determining who to put us in front of. We'll get there eventually. Eventually, I'll stop screwing up. Well, hopefully. Okay. Got no guarantees on that last one there. I could continue to be malfunctioning. This is just the proof that I'm not AI, that I'm a real guy sitting on a real couch. This show is 100% free. No ads, no sponsors, no charge. You can like, you can subscribe, no charge for either. 100% free show. There's very few free shows on TV now. So you should jump on this and take advantage while you can. I need Ghost Mostly Media, the media company. I need that to get monetized so that I can post videos and eventually make money. But not on this channel. They gave me 2 channels. So this channel is going to be free always. I'll never have a sponsor. I watch a lot of shows on YouTube that do have sponsors. Some of their sponsors seem all right to me. My favorite show right now that's not a Lions football game is probably Cross Timbers Bison. I know you probably never heard of that. It's a small channel, a guy named Dusty Baker. He's got a bison ranch in southern Oklahoma. And I don't know, to me, I just find it real interesting. He gets into some sketchy spots from time to time. Well, he's breeding and raising and caring for wild animals. Okay. That there's a certain amount of danger there that just comes with the territory, you know. It's very entertaining to me. I like the guy, and I like what he's doing. I would never do that. Well, the smaller full-grown females are 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pound bison can probably flip a car. Okay, I I wouldn't be messing with him. But he cares about him, and I just find his live streams and his videos very entertaining. He has a lot of sponsors. Okay. It's all right that he has sponsors. The only show I can guarantee is going to be free is this one. Okay. Well, hopefully he'll have another video out this week. I think I've seen everything that he's posted so far, but who knows? I don't know if you guys have access to who I subscribe to when I'm watching TV. I don't know if you guys got access to that information or not. I mean, it's okay with me if you know, but I have no idea. Well, I think I've only went to my actual page once. Okay, I don't. I'm not stalking on the internet. I get into the internet, get my information that I want, and I get out. I probably spend less time on the computer. I mean, other than this show, than the average person. Well, especially right now, I'm censoring myself from the news. I don't want to hear, Well, if you keep on feeding yourself all this negative information that's in the news in America, in the United States, it'll give you an ulcer, drive you nuts, radicalize you. I self censor. I shut that crap off. I don't intake any more of that information than I have to. They drive me crazy. Well, the last thing I saw is they're saying they want Trump to get a Nobel Peace Prize, which makes no sense. I mean, he's sending the military into U.S. cities and they want him to have a peace prize. He's blowing up boats in Venezuela and they want him to have a peace prize. You're killing people, okay? It's like hopefully the Middle East thing will stick, and I hope it does. And I appreciate all his hard work in that area. If they can end that conflict, kudos, okay? But when you're killing people in one part of the globe and working hard to save people in the other, they wash each other out, you ask me. Okay. The kudos I'm willing to give in the peace initiative is only so much kudos. Okay. You gotta put a cap on that when he's killing people, you know. My personal opinion, I'd like to have a US president that doesn't kill anyone. I don't think the American people want to kill. I mean, there's a percentage, you know, that are always going to be a little bit bloodthirsty, but, you know, for the most part, I'm not sitting around planning the demise of others, and I don't think you are either. Okay. No thanks. I don't want to hurt anyone. Personal opinion. I understand that you know, these are serious issues. I value life higher than many, I guess. I just, you know, I look at lashing out as a normal human behavior. That's why wars exist. When human beings have uncontrolled fear, they lash out. Violence doesn't solve anything, in my opinion. I believe in violence for self-defense if you need it, but I don't believe that, you know, you have a right to hurt anyone. If you want to lash out at somebody, use your words. Learn to articulate. Express yourself in a manner in which you are understood and comprehended. If you can't find the right words, shut up. Don't say anything. Personal opinion. It shocks me when I see all the death and destruction that wars cause. It's just, there's so much heinous human activity that I consider to be reprehensible. I watch, for my war news, I watch a show called The Enforcer channel. A couple of brothers, Matt and Andrew, they sort through the social media and attach video evidence to everything that they say. They're a biased opinion, but they're backing theirs up with factual evidence, videos, or official statements, you know, by government officials, you know, that stuff. They're on about 10 after 10 Eastern PM. And their show runs 2 or 3 hours. It's a pretty fast-paced. They have a minimal interaction with the chat. But I like them. I get my information from them. If there's a conflict around the world, they're going to let you know about it. whether it's in the Middle East or Ukraine itself or, wherever. I think where we get our information now matters. I think you really got to pick and choose what information you glean from a given channel. A lot of what I call it corporate media spills out is opinion, or what I call half-truth. It's a shame that they operate like that, I guess. I don't speak in half-truths, okay? Well, facts and figures don't lie, but people do. Personal opinion. Well, there's a couple of kinds of liars out there. You've got the psychopath. I mean, he has to lie in order to feel like he is participating in the conversation. Right? But for most people, they lie for 3 reasons. Number 1, they want to hide their greed. Number 2, they want to hide their shame. Or number 3, they want to hide their fear. It's 1, 2, or sometimes all 3 of those things. But people lie. My personal opinion, if someone is lying to me, I find less time for them to be in my life. I got no time for liars. I don't want to waste my time with a liar. Personal opinion. It's, I believe it's dishonest to misrepresent or even to omit certain information on purpose in order to deceive others. But I'm not trying to manipulate or control people. Personal opinion. That's all I can ever offer you is my opinion. I would love to hear yours. Feel free to jump in the chat. Voice your opinion. That's why it's here. I'm giving you a golden opportunity to voice your opinion as best you can. I don't want to micromanage people. I don't want to control and manipulate. I'm not trying to hustle. Well, I think that's what most of this propaganda that we get is all about. Is they're trying to hustle you. They're trying to control and manipulate you. And that's why I censor and I turn them off. I don't want to see that. I don't want to intake that information because it's biased and thus bogus, in my opinion. I go the other way. I want the truth, even if it hurts a little. Sometimes the truth is painful. Sometimes the guy that's trying to win the Nobel Peace Prize is murdering people at the same time. All right. I think a mature adult can sort this stuff out, but I think it's tougher on the younger generations that haven't matured, that haven't got a grasp on sorting this stuff out. And well, I think that's what this whole fake news thing is about. The realistic part of it is that they're creating the fake news to muddy the water, to cause the confusion. It's like being in the woods. When you go hunting into an area that you don't know, and you get into a bunch of wilderness, when you lose daylight, it's hard to get your bearings. You don't know which way you need to go. And that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to muddy, make you lose your bearings and not know which way to go. They make money off of it. They can profit off of that. I think profit and greed are motivating a lot of weak individuals into doing things that they wouldn't normally do. Just like some of these, these ICE agents that they got that are running around wearing a mask and, tackling and hog-tying people on the streets of America. This kind of stuff is morally against everything that this country stands for. I'm wondering about the lawsuits. I think it's going to be a major payday for a lot of foreign transitioned or foreigners that are transitioning to the United States. They have a legal status to be here, and yet they're putting them on a plane and sending them back to, South Korea. It's just wrong. Oh, hopefully our next president will unmask the ICE agents and get rid of the bad ones. Sort them out like a barrel of apples. You can have a full bushel basket of apples, and the whole thing's going to reek like it's bad if you have just one or two bad apples in there. Sometimes you got to go through and sort through them and pick out the bad ones and dispose of them. And I think that's what they're going to have to do with ICE when all is said and done. I think they've rushed to hire a bunch of what I would call social rejects. people that can't differentiate between right and wrong due to their own prejudices or fears. Personal opinion. I think the prejudice in the United States is the most ridiculous thing that exists. Civil Rights Act was passed 50 plus years ago. Okay. That's the end of that whole discussion on prejudice. If you're carrying prejudice beyond that, you're an idiot. Personal opinion. I think that part of being an adult is controlling your fears. And your prejudices are nothing more than uncontrolled fears. You want to get past your fear of Latinos? Go work a job with them. They work hard. Go share a meal with them. They're good people. You can't say they're all rapists and murderers. I'm sorry, you can't. You can't say that about white people. You can't say that about black people. You try to do that and you're the problem. Plain and simple. Your uncontrolled fear is your problem, and you're making it our society's problem. You really want to get past it, mature, okay? The law is the law. In the law of this land here in the United States, we're all equal. The rich guy's not better than the poor guy. The white guy's not better than the black guy. All right? We're all equal. I see it. I see this crapola on the Supreme Court. They try to tell our U.S. president that he can do no wrong, that he's got carte blanche. He doesn't. He must obey the law, the same as all of us. We're all the same. Just because you hold one job for 4 years or for 8 years doesn't make you God. You still need to answer for your crimes. Plain and simple. Accountability. If one person has accountability, then all must have accountability. I think it's a joke, a sick joke that these people think, oh, because I'm the Attorney General, I can do nothing wrong. Want to bet? Because I'm the director of the FBI, I cannot break the law. Want to bet? I say it goes the other way. If you are the Attorney General and you are breaking the law, you're the worst one. You're worse than the guy that's not holding that job that breaks the law. Personal opinion. For the Supreme Court to sit around and say, we're better than you, that's against everything America stands for. America stands for the Constitution, and the Constitution states that we're all equal. Men are not better than women. Women are not better than men. If you disagree, jump in the chat and tell me about it. Tell me why you think women are better than men. All human beings are flawed. None of us are perfect. None of us are ever going to be perfect. Right now, I may seem perfect to you. I'm not. I'm a flawed human being. Okay. I make mistakes. Okay. Look at what I've done with this channel over the last 6 weeks. There's my proof. I am not AI. I make mistakes. We all do. The adult, the mature human being can sort this out, improve from their mistakes, grow and learn their entire life, and work to improve. That's all we can do. I'm trying to improve over the me that was last week. I changed the setting. Okay. I'm trying to get better. But all human beings have flaws. Everyone can be insecure sometimes. Everyone can be detrimental to their own well-being sometimes. Look at me smoking my cigarettes. It's detrimental to my health, correct? Hello? It's personal opinion, what I see and what I've learned in my life experience. I made a lot of poor choices as a young man. Hopefully I make better choices nowadays. I'm trying, okay? But I could screw up like I did with this podcast 6 weeks ago when I set up the settings on my channel, okay? This is what human beings do. Hopefully I've learned my lesson, okay? Hopefully I won't make that same mistake. I think it's hilarious. Well, it's hilarious because the whole world gets to see. Okay. I'm broadcasting this. When was the last time you put your mistakes out on broadcast? Okay. It's not the ideal situation, Talk about self-deprecating. But it's all right. It'll all come out in the wash. We'll straighten everything out, and in the long run, it'll all do just like it's supposed to. The channel will grow. It's just going to take at least 6 weeks longer because I screwed it up. Okay. Well, the rate I'm going, I'm going to get 1 new subscriber a week. So in 1,000 weeks, this channel 52 in a year. So it's going to take a while. It'll all work out. Don't let it stress you out. Stress is killing people all over our planet. I think that's real interesting. It's our planet. Ours. We all share it. Some don't want to share. Okay, but we all share it, whether you want to or not. We're all here. Hopefully, we'll all be here forever. But, historically, if you look at the history of the planet, we're probably going to get taken out by a meteor eventually. Okay. Well, let's hope that, technology can progress to a point where eventually we could have the planet be safe from being taken out by a meteor. I mean, we gotta hope, right? Let's think positive here. Okay. I don't want to give you a sense of impending doom. Okay. Not trying to get anybody into counseling. Okay. There's nothing against counseling. I recommend it for everyone, but I'm saying that I'm not trying to be the straw that breaks the camel's back here. Okay. But historically, the history of our planet, if you look it over, it's been wiped out. It keeps starting over, thank goodness. But, frequent buffering. You're experiencing streaming interruptions. Check your network connection. Well, thank you, Spectrum. You're doing an excellent job. Oh, yeah. This is why Spectrum's going to get replaced. My laptop is hardwired directly to my router. There's nothing wrong with my computer. There's no storms or anything. The internet is not going down. This is Spectrum at its finest. Being just this short of functional. They're close to being functional. I mean, I have Wi-Fi. It doesn't work well enough to live stream, but I have Wi-Fi, right? This is why I'm going to look into this T-Mobile switch. And as far as I'm concerned, the sooner the better. Yeah. I'm just done with Spectrum. They seem to be totally inadequate to me. An inferior product. I never knew them to be inferior. I've had them for 3 years. Yeah. And I'm paying $95 a month for this. Okay. Yeah. Just more proof I can make mistakes. Okay. Well, I'm seriously going to look at it. Evidently, I'm going to seriously look at it this week because, it shouldn't be buffering. Everything that I'm using for this live stream, it's all Google. It should all function. There should be no issues ever. And the only thing that's not Google is Spectrum. Okay. So I've narrowed it down. Identify the problem and then correct the problem, right? Here we go. Should be interesting. I need to look into the T-Mobile and read the fine print before I sign on the dotted line, But I'll get there. It's just sad that Spectrum is having these issues. I don't know why. I don't know why they're still in business. From what I see, defective product. I've noticed issues. Takes pages longer to load than it should on the computer. They just ain't cutting it, you know. Hopefully, I'll get something done this week, and we'll see. Well, occasionally I get complacent. Okay. Well, I keep thinking, why don't they fix this? I started this live stream 6 weeks ago, and that's when I started realizing that I was having problems with Spectrum. First thing they did was tell me that it was my fault. Okay, that's the first thing they did. Then they eventually replaced my modem and my router. And then they told me that there was interference, and that must also be my fault. And then eventually they told me, well, just hardwire it. Well, it's hardwired now. So the fault from this point on lies basically on Spectrum. You guys should jump in the chat and get me off this Spectrum subject, okay? Because this is a rabbit hole I don't need to go down on air. Hopefully I'll get something done with this week. We'll see. Well, I want to find out if I can have T-Mobile in this area. Or city for divvied up the property, and they're trying to give instead of allowing the free market system to function as it's supposed to. Well, the free market system is supposed to work so that these horrible companies go out of business and then are no longer siphoning. But evidently they bribed some local politicians and set this up years ago. Well, here in America, The only country I can speak of, a lot of previous politicians have taken bribes and set things up that are actually detrimental to our society. Well, I don't want to go down that whole rabbit hole, but a crook is a crook. Okay. I like I like it when everything functions and it runs smooth. Stresses me out when I have issues, especially that are issues that are unnecessary. Why would the city be allowing these people to conduct business when they have an inferior product? I just find it hard to believe. I mean, if you're selling tires that don't work, you're going to go out of business, right? Same thing, only it's not a tire. It's an internet service provider. But if dysfunctional is dysfunctional, inferior is inferior. End of story. Hopefully, things will straighten out. I'll get on it. I know you guys are probably going to want to hold me to it, but I'll get on it. Well, my calendar's open this month. I got nothing going on, nothing planned other than doing this live stream 5 days a week. So that makes dealing with Spectrum and their idiocracy a priority. Okay, let's talk about something else. They're giving me a headache. You guys aren't giving me a headache. Spectrum's giving me a headache. It's interesting to me now that I've said on my live stream, what do you want to bet that I start getting them in my spam? I get commercials for T-Mobile. Anyone want to put money on that? Anybody want to wager? Any of you gamblers out there? I've said both Spectrum and T-Mobile in this live stream. What do you want to bet that all my junk mail is full of Spectrum and T-Mobile garbage from now on? I'll bet you a nickel. That's a joke. I don't really bet. Okay. Well, I was in Vegas and I bet everything for years, you know. I used to bet on everything from horse races to golf. Okay. And now I don't bet. I don't wager. I guess I've got a lesson that I've learned. Okay. Eventually it sinks in. Only 33 years, you know. You guys are funny today. Your silence is deafening. Okay. Jump in the chat and straighten me out. There's no charge. It's 100% free. I gotta believe that eventually YouTube's gonna figure this channel out. Maybe they'll send me an email and say, hey, go click this button, dumbass. Or unclick that button. You've screwed it all up. It won't work the way you got it set up. Who knows? It's a very progressive world. Anything can happen. Yeah, I was up late last night because of that dang football game. Well, it stressed me out, so I ate a double serving of cake. And then I think the sugar got me all wired up. I'm starting to think there's sugar in everything anymore. My morning coffee, I put honey in that. I don't use sugar in that. But that's the only thing I use honey for is in my morning coffee. I drink coffee, decaf, I should say, in the mornings. Generally, 3, I'll say 2 to 5 cups. Then I switch to Dr. Pepper. Then I switch to Gatorade. Then I switch back to Dr. Pepper. And then I drink nothing but water throughout the evening, basically from dinner on. Well, the doctor harps at me about more water. So I try to drink more water. I don't know. It's interesting to watch what happens with this channel. Well, between my mistakes and the screw ups of Spectrum, there's no telling what could happen here. Okay. It'll improve. I just got to believe. And I was just thinking my hair looks red on this side, but it's just because it's darker. It's not really red. Oh, probably lighting. I'll try to adjust it. I've been looking at the shadows on my face and trying to determine the lighting from that. I probably need to go out and buy one of them diffuse lights. So my plans after the stream is I'm going to smoke a bowl, go for a walk, come back, cook dinner. I probably won't watch anything except the Monday Night Football game. Don't need any of that negative news. They put that stuff on there to scare us. I'm not going to be afraid. Screw 'em. I am starting to take note of who the advertisers are on the channels that are excruciating the bunk. I have a strong desire to not do business with the companies that are paying for the fake news. If you're watching a news broadcast that tells you that well, the government shutdown is the Democrats' fault, I want to know, oh, who's advertising that? That's the guy I don't want to do business with. It's not the Democrats' fault. It's everybody's fault. Every one of those government officials has got a responsibility to keep the government open and keep it running, keep it funded. Every one of them. Every member of the Senate, every member of the House, every member of Congress, period, and the president. They all have a responsibility, and they're all sure. Otherwise, the government would be funded and would be open. The fact that they all think it's okay to go on vacation, go golfing, okay, that's a little absurd. I don't know. You walk into your employer and you tell him, the business is not funded anymore, so I'm going to go golfing. I don't think your employer is going to take that too well. Okay. Realistically, he might fire your ass on the spot and say, get to work or get off my property, period. And I think that's probably the stance that the American people have to take, is just refuse to attend their bullshit rallies. I don't know. I got to believe if you are a part of the problem, eventually people are going to wise up to it. My personal opinion on politics is I don't think we should ever elect an incumbent, ever. We should make put a revolving door or a turnstile on that, and next, because the more they seem to lurk about, the more they seem to become the problem. From my vantage point, from what I see. These guys couldn't survive with our routine. They can't stay on the job. It's like all these millionaires and billionaires in Trump's cabinet. They're all going to be gone by the time the midterm elections roll through. Next year, this time, they'll be dropping like flies. Well, they got in there, based on greed, and they will have stolen everything they can. They will have built everything they can by that time, and you can't get a 40-hour work week out of these guys. They're not like us. People in Vegas over the years, and they don't have the same work ethic. Well, most of them don't have any ethics, at least not that I could see. Morally, they're somewhat deficient as well. I mean, think about it. All these politicians and these socialite, these were the ones that were going to Epstein's Island. Okay, these were the ones that were paying the pimp. You and I don't do that, right? Morally, it's not our cup of tea. But they don't have our morals. They don't have our ethics. Plain and simple. They have an agenda. Once they achieve that agenda, they'll get out of our hair until they come up with a grift. Sad, but that's the way I see it. Well, the bottom line on it is that eventually it's all going to come for a full circle. Our next politician that we elect will spend 4 years going after all of these politicians. Okay. That's all they're going to do. Our next president will probably unmask all the ICE agents and then sort a bunch of those bad apples and get them out. Probably the main thing that the United States has to worry about is the Supreme Court, because those are lifetime appointments. I think the lifetime has run its course. I think that there needs to be an exit strategy. If it's okay for them to take bribes, then it's okay for them to get put out of office. Fair is fair, right? Well, maybe we need to put a revolving door on the Supreme Court for a few years. Just every year elect another 9 justices. 9 more, 9 more, 9 more. And, eventually we'll flush out all the bad ones. Some of these guys should never have been there in the first place. The one that jumps to mind is Clarence Thomas. I mean, we all should have listened to, what was her name? Anita Hill. Yeah. Not good enough, buddy. As we used to say on the ball diamond, swing and a miss. Okay. I don't know what's worse, the bribee or the briber. Okay. Is it the guy that paid the bribe or the guy that accepted the bribe and then did the other's bidding? Which one is worse in your eyes? Jump in the chat. Give me your opinion. I'll listen. I'll respect your opinion. Which do you think is worse? The guy that paid the bribe or the guy that accepted the bribe and did the other guy's bidding? My opinion, both equally to blame. Both equally guilty of the same crimes. My opinion. That's the only thing I can offer. The way I see it from my end of the couch, having not taken the bribe and having not done anyone's evil bidding or quasi evil bidding, I guess. To me, they're both equally as bad. But, they gave this get out of jail free next president as well as their president. So our next president can, call these idiots up. Probably. Like, just build one Supermax and take everybody that's in the White House, everybody that's in Congress, and all the corporate CEOs that think it's okay to bribe, and lock them all up. What are you talking? Maybe 4,000 of them max total. Not enough to cry over. Okay. They're all evil as far as I'm concerned. I'm ready to just get the next batch in. I don't know which party is worse right now, the Democrats or the Republicans. They all have the responsibility to keep the government funded and open. So why aren't they all lined up at our local news station to tell us their plan to straighten it all out? None of them are. Not a single one. Okay. These guys are worthless pieces of shit. I say guys, there's women in there too. All right. Who's worse? The corporate CEO that paid the bribe or the politician that took the bribe and enacts the laws to benefit the corporation? All of the above. Package them to go. Okay, get them out of here. Let's ship them to El Salvador and put them in prison. Okay, what a plan. Anytime you go to cast your ballot, just before you go to the poll, take an ink pen right across the palm of your hand. Next. Okay. Next. Just put a revolving door on all the politics. Send them through. Okay. None of them are, apparently, none of them are of value to us. So why should we value them? Okay. Oh, they got money. Big deal. Don't impress me. You want to impress me? Give Americans health care. Not just the Americans now, but all Americans forever. We need health care. Personal opinion. I think that the healthcare system that's set up now is so dysfunctional that I think 75% of all the diagnostic testing that goes on in this country is probably totally unnecessary. That's the grease that keeps the wheels turning. No, I don't think you need an MRI. In most instances, I think these tests are ordered as just a function of them all making money. I don't think it has anything to do with your health. Personal opinion. I went in and I had a CT scan done last year. And they said, well, you don't have cancer, but you should probably come back next year and get tested again. Why? I'm not sick next year. If I'm sick next year and you want me to take the test, that makes sense. But when I'm not sick, why do I need the test? Oh, so you can bilk the insurance company. Oh, just grease for their wheels. Okay. It's ridiculous. No, my doctor did not call me up and say, congrats, you've been smoking for over 50 years and you don't have cancer. I didn't get a pat on the back and attaboy or no, I got grave concern. Why did I have to have the CT test and the CT scan initially? Why? Because she knew I was a smoker. I wasn't sick. If I wasn't sick, why did I need the test? Oh, you just wanted to grease the wheels. It's bullshit. It's all bull. They need to save those tests for the people that need those tests. They're the only ones that need it. They say, oh, this is preventive medicine. How is it preventive medicine? As far as I'm concerned, if it was preventive medicine, then I would have needed it last year, and the year before, and the year before. I didn't. Why? They're just cranking us through and they're ordering unnecessary tests because they can. I don't think that's the way it's going down in these other countries that have health care. I think the only people that go in and see the doctor are the sick ones. I could be wrong. The next time I get somebody on from the UK or England, I'll ask them, do they order unnecessary tests for you guys? Do you got to do all this crap every year that they want me to do? To me, our system, our whole system of healthcare for profit is a joke. Healthcare for profit does not work. It is dysfunctional from the get-go. We shouldn't be sending our doctors to the Bahamas to go marlin fishing. All right, system UI isn't responding. What's system UI? It might be UL. It looks like UI. System UI isn't responding. I can close app or I can wait. That's the option it's given me. So I clicked wait. We'll see. Yeah, I'll have to look that up and see what the heck it is. I have no idea what it is. Let's see what it is. System UI not responding. I just did a Google search. Try restarting your device. If the problem persists, clear the cache for the system and any recent apps. Check for and install any pending system or app updates and free up internal storage. Yeah. Restart your device. Well, I could try restarting my computer after the live stream. Be honest with you, I haven't shut my computer off in about 5 years. I'll try. We'll see. I'll try to restart it. Makes me wonder why all of a sudden it's given me these issues. I don't have anything stored on my computer. So the cache can't be full, or cache, or whatever you want to call it. It can't be full. I don't store anything on it. The page that I had for the system UI not responding is not responding. It's all right. As long as it's staying busy, we're fine. No, I'm not. I'm not a computer guy. Look at this. As soon as I get a production staff, I'm going to get them right on this. Okay. Sorry. Well, I'll rewatch the stream tonight and I'll see. But I have no idea. I know that my browser is all updated and all this. So I checked that like 2 weeks ago. What can I tell you? Life is just exciting. Well, it's twice in one live stream that I got to notice. I got one on my TV and I got one on my laptop. I don't even know how to restart my computer. Okay. I'll have to look that up. I never shut it off. Why should I? When I want it on, I want to be able to just lift up the screen and go. I don't want to have to turn it on. It's a laptop. So I leave it on all the time, 24/7. This computer that I'm using for this live stream has not been shut off in over 5 years. It hasn't been unplugged from the wall. Well, I unplugged it from the wall back in 2021. So 4 years. No, I leave it plugged in. I know that I get the same crap with my phone. Oh, you got to shut it off. I don't know how to shut off the phone either. I asked Crumbolina. She showed me. Okay. I don't pay attention to that crap. Well, it's like your TV. You can run it. Let it run. I shut it off when I go to bed, but other than that, it's on all day, every day. Well, if I go for a walk, if I'm leaving the house, I shut it off. But if I'm at home, it's turned on. If I'm not watching TV, I'm generally listening to music or something. I'll look into it. Same as I'm going to look into this replacing Spectrum Bowl. You know, if I have to restart the computer, I will. Okay, I'll figure it out. So if the live stream isn't here tomorrow, it's going to be all my fault. I'm the one that shut off the computer and couldn't get it back on. All right. Generally, what I do when I wind down the show is I talk to people about live and let live. It's just a way to close the show. You can't pick and choose for people. You need to allow people to be individuals. Allow people to be different than you are. It's not hard. Ignore them. It's none of your business. You can't micromanage people. Let them do what they want to do with their life. The only time they need to worry about what they're doing is when they're involved with your life. If one guy wants to do something different than the way you do things, let him. Ignore what he's doing. You can't micromanage people. You want to try it, it won't work out. Ever. They might tell you what they think you need to hear to shut you up. Okay. That's the best. At best, that's what you can get. What you're probably going to get is told off. Okay? Leave people alone. You cannot tell your neighbor how to mow his lawn, what color to paint his house. It's none of your business. Your neighbor can't tell you how to mow your lawn or what color you have to paint your house. It's none of his business. Don't fall into it. Ignore him. Let your neighbor live his life the way he wants to. You live your life the way you want to. If you can control him, if you can make him do something he doesn't want to do, you're convincing him he can make you do something you don't want to do. You're convincing him that he can in turn control you. He can't. You control you. Live and let live. Let these people do what they want to do. It's none of your concern, in my opinion. I see it all the time. All the time. One of my neighbors were walking in the park and she sees a teenager that's got his skateboard on top of a picnic table. And she wants to go over and go ballistic on him. Leave that kid alone. Okay? Maybe he's repairing his skateboard that's sitting on top of that picnic. I know people eat there. Leave the kid alone. It's none of your concern what he's doing. You cannot pick and choose for people. You want to try it? Go up to one of your grown-ass children and try to tell them who they can and cannot date. It ain't going to work. No, they might lie to you and tell you, but it ain't going to work. They're going to date whoever the hell they want to date. It's the same thing as if we have a picket line, right? Some people want to cross the picket line. Some people want to respect the picket line and would never even dream of crossing it. Both have the right. If someone you know or someone you don't know does things different than you, so if he's making a mistake, he'll learn his lesson. Same as if you're making a mistake, you're going to learn your lesson. If I make a mistake, I'm going to learn my lesson. You cannot pick and choose for people. People are not put here to satisfy you. You are not put here to satisfy other people. Live and let live. That's just the easiest way for me to put it. It's the best terminology I think I can come up with. Live and let live. Leave damn people alone. Okay? It's not your place to judge or try to control them. And it's not their place to judge or try to control you. You want to make your own choices, your own decisions. So do they. Respect them. Be understanding. Be compassionate. Be patient with other people. You don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know what's on their plate. They don't know what's going on in your life. They don't know what's on your plate. So we've all got to live and let live. It's not your place to sit in judgment over them. If you want to judge them, go into your own house. Close the door where you've got some privacy, and then speak in judgments all you want. But you can't walk into your neighbor's yard and start telling him this is how it's going to be. It's never going to work out that way. On the same token, he can't come walking into your yard and lay down the law. This is how it's going to be. No. You control. You make your decisions over you. And your neighbor will control and make the decisions over themselves. You must respect that. What we're looking for here is peaceful coexistence. You can do your thing, I can do my thing, and yet we can all get along. Isn't life just dandy? All right, with that said, the show's name is Afternoon Chat. It's on Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. I'm inviting you to join us anytime you like. Everyone is welcome here. Every opinion is welcome here, and every opinion will be respected here. I'm Ghost Mostly. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Be nice, be patient, be understanding, be compassionate, be real. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. I appreciate if you like and subscribe. It does help the channel. And this channel needs a lot of help. I'll see you tomorrow at 3. Have a great day.